Hey y'all, welcome to Little Acre Homestead. My name is Rowan and today we are turning this into one of these. This is the original Greenstalk vertical gardening system. There's also the leaf variety, and we're using these to plant things like broccoli, cauliflower, herbs, and flowers. They're super easy to assemble, so let's get started. Also, I want to say a very special thank you to my garden best friend Jennifer. You should subscribe to her channel here. She always helps me out when I'm feeling overwhelmed by getting me information that I need or helping me find the answer to a question when I feel like I have information overload. So if it weren't for her, I would not know how to put these Greenstalks together. Thank you so much, Jen. I really appreciate you. First and foremost, the most important thing is that you need to use the right soil. For Greenstalks, you should be using a potting mix soil, not raised garden bed or anything like that, because the water needs to be able to filter down through the soil in the pockets. So then you want to get your dirt nice and wet. Getting the dirt wet before you put it in makes it a little bit easier to get as much dirt as you need to into each of these wells. Each one holds about one bag of potting soil. It's really important to make sure that you're not compacting the soil down, like pushing it down really far, because that can cause the tiers to warp over time. So just make sure that you're not putting more soil in each pocket than they can hold. Now, as we're getting these filled with dirt, let's talk about some of the things that you can grow in a Greenstalk. So there is the leaf, which I believe has slightly more shallow pockets, and then the original, which is what we have. Anything that can be planted in the leaf can also be planted in the original, and for most plants, you want to do one per pocket, but there are some plants like arugula or other herbs or bush beans that can be planted 3 per pocket. So in the leaf, you can grow arugula, some other herbs like oregano or basil. You can do beets, radishes, garlic, marigolds, and other flowers. Tons and tons of options. Those can also go in the original, and then other plants that can go in the original include things like bok choy, leeks, bush beans, cantaloupes, potatoes, cauliflower, broccoli, zucchini. Tons and tons and tons of options here. You can get a lot of food or herbs or greens out of these vertical systems, and I think they're really fantastic. We have these on our front porch. We're also considering adding a pair to our deck, which is on the back of the house. Greenstalk does note that most edibles need full direct sun to thrive, at least 6 hours every day. So that is something to consider if you want to add this type of vertical gardening system to your homestead. We are confident that we'll be able to get enough sunlight for all of these different plants to really thrive, and some of them actually do well without that full direct sun. So we'll see how they do. So now that all 5 of our tiers are full of dirt and we watered it in, we're gonna start assembling this. So this is very simple. Alex has the base and it's got the wheels on it. We got the one that has locking wheels, and when you put them in, you just do locking wheel, non-locking wheel in a pattern around the circle, and you're good to go. So then the order of assembly, of course, is tier, one of these trays, and with these little holes, you wanna make sure that the holes are aligned to the pocket, and I'll show you that in just a second. But then you repeat until you're out of pieces, and then you put the watering barrel on top. Something to note here is that when you are watering in the dirt into these different tiers, it adds a lot of extra weight. So these were very heavy. Don't try to move these if you can't lift them. Definitely ask somebody to help you get the tiers up onto the higher levels if you need it, and always make sure that you're lifting safely. Also, the pieces will not fit together snugly until they are all assembled, so don't waste time trying to put the water barrel on top until it's done. So when you're assembling these, this system has little holes in it, and those holes need to align to the pockets. So you want to make sure that it's set up so the water can drain into each well. And there we go. I can't wait to see all of our plants growing on our front porch. Thanks so much for joining us while we got our 2 Greenstalks put together. The next step is to get them planted out. We're gonna do some cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, and a bunch of other really great stuff. And we can't wait to share that with you. Thanks so much for stopping by Little Acre Homestead and for subscribing, and we'll see you again very soon.